You're in a bedding business. A lot of people at this time of year are considering to get some kind of down comforter or blanket for their bed, and there's lots of different options. You can get a down comforter, you could get a synthetic comforter, you could get a comforter that's decorative. Those usually aren't super warm. It might be pretty, a pattern that you like. That's not the type of thing that we were known for. The type of product that I carried is called a duvet in Europe. What are the most commonly asked questions about Goosedown? Are you getting stressed out over what type of comforter to buy? Have you purchased a comforter and been dissatisfied? Let me help you. Down comforter information is very confusing. There's much deception in down product marketing. It's good to know what you are paying for. Transform your bedroom into an oasis. Have you ever seen a bed fluffed up with a beautiful Goosedown comforter? They're wonderful. Not all comforter products, down products, are the same. There's two issues. The first issue is what's on the inside, the down. Is it clean? Is it a high grade? There are different types of Goosedown, and they are graded, and the very nicest qualities are the Hungarian Goosedown and the Siberian Goosedown. They are the most desired for their properties of warmth and lightness, and that is the idea when you go into high-end comforters, that you have bedding that's very light and ethereal, but that keeps you very, very warm, and you feel like you're inside of a cloud almost. And then you can go into other down products that are very dense and lumpy and dusty and will leak and will give you not very much longevity. We are a business that believes in carrying very high quality, and although you pay a premium for this type of product, in the long run you actually do better off. You have more enjoyment. You'll find that if you are paying more money over the course of time that you've had the product, it's just like a car. It's not something that you buy every day. If you buy a better car, if you want, you can have it for longer and it's still going to perform. There's a number of questions that you need to ask. There's the inside of the comforter. Is it Chinese down? Is it European down? Is it Canadian down? Is it Goosedown or is it Duck down? Because there's a huge difference, and Duck down is an inferior product. Most of the down product that you find on the market is coming out of China, and it is a cheap duck down, and it is a byproduct of the food industry, which is created because in China they eat a lot of duck, and so you have this tremendous amount of poultry that is being processed, and you have feather and down as a result, as a remnant that needs to be repurposed, and this is how it's repurposed. However, the quality control in China is suspect because there's a lot of low quality product that comes out, and the whole reason why it's being purchased is it is extremely cheap. But here's the issue. Do you want to have a product that was made by slaves? Because there's a chance that your product may have been handled by a human that's being exploited, that your product may have been created because it was cruel to an animal, because these animals are going to be slaughtered for food. They will harvest the down from these ducks over and over again while the animals are still alive. And it's a cruel practice, and the types of product that I want to carry are the ones that are ethically produced so that they do not create pollution in the environment, that they are kind to animals and to humans. You have to understand that in China there's over 1 million people that are slaves. They work in labor camps. If you protest, they'll kill your whole family. There's a lot of businesses relying on China. This is something that we avoided in our business. Explain to you now what is the difference of the down. There's a difference in both price and in the quality. Heirloom quality down comforter is an investment which will provide you with decades of enjoyment properly cared for. I just threw out my comforter because it started to leak, and when I checked it out, the fabric had completely deteriorated. However, this comforter was 30 years old, 30, okay? It was one of the first comforters that we had when we opened up around 1988. I just threw it out last year. So, properly cared for it, you can at least expect 10 years. If you really care for it well, 20 years is not unusual for a high-end Goosedown product. It's not only what's on the inside, it's on the outside. And so let's talk about the outside for a minute, which is a fabric. That fabric is made, a good quality comforter will have a high thread count, Egyptian cotton usually, or it might be a lyocell, but up until recently, let's just stick with cotton here for a second. A high quality, long staple Egyptian cotton with a tight weave that will prevent down from escaping from the comforter. And if you have a very good quality down, that is not so much an issue, because what makes a comforter leak is the fact that the down mixes can be filled with feather, and feather is hard. It has a sharp quill that can poke right through a fabric. Once that hole is created, the down can escape from the comforter, and it is a major mess. So, if that happens, if you can sew up the little hole, fine, do that. But if you can't, just get rid of it. The other thing that, part of the reason that I was prompted to do this is because, and this is something that we did not like to discuss in our business, because we were a luxury store, so we don't want to talk about anything unpleasant. But, now I just noticed this article tonight I noticed a woman asking about donating her pillows, and a pillow is something that you can get 2 or 3 years use. It's not like a comforter. It gets a lot more wear and tear. But the issue is that over time, dust gets in the pillow and your skin sloths off, and that's food for dust mites. And those dust mites live in the pillow, and they will be having a feast for years. Within a few years, a high percentage of your content of your pillow is dead mite bodies, and they poop. And this is a source of the allergens. So this is the problem. Let's just pretend for a moment that we have a down that's been processed correctly. Over time, dust does accumulate, and with that, dust mites. And so with the comforter, the types of comforters that I carried are all white on the outside, and they are covered with a duvet cover. The idea of the duvet cover is to protect your comforter so that you can launder the outer part once or twice, like once a week or twice a week, or even less if you're using a top sheet with your comforter. You don't need to launder your comforter very often. We launder the duvet cover. And the reason why we don't want to launder our comforter, now, you can launder it. You can even launder it yourself, and I'll discuss that later. Every time you launder your comforter, you lose a little bit of the life of the comforter, because the fibers get more brittle, and when they get brittle, they break. And when they break, you lose the fluffiness of the comforter, which is what makes it insulative, which makes it warm. And so we are trying to get the most longevity from these products. They do need to be treated properly, just like any major investment that you might have. Stay tuned for more info on home decor, beautiful beds, and European luxury. See our best shopping tips for finding great down comforters and pillows. Request our guide. Please request the Arrelle Guide to Comfort. Find us on our Facebook group at Arrelle Fine Linens. Hit the subscribe button and like us. Ask me anything Goosedown.